All right, so it has been a big past couple days in news. I'm just going to kind of summarize everything from past day or two on this live stream. There's more going on today, but I don't really want to talk about that right now. So the big news, obviously, you probably saw in the thumbnail, Harry Sisson is going down. At least that's what a lot of people think. I don't think anything's really going to happen with all this. I just think it's really interesting how someone like Harry Sisson, um, who is one of probably the most judgmental people on the planet, constantly acts like he's better than everyone else. He knows better than you. He knows more than you. Is now not really getting canceled, but he's really looking bad right now. So we just dive on in to this. So the big person who's kind of been collecting all of this on Twitter has been this girl, Sarah Fields. She created this whole thread of basically just Snapchats, texts, messages, everything that you can think of to bring down Harry Sisson, basically showing what a shitty person he is, to put it bluntly. So I'm not going to play all these videos, but basically here's a little thread here. So it's like a picture of him snapping some girl. This video here is basically the start of it, I believe. I think it was this girl basically came out, and then multiple people, so on and so forth, have been coming out to the point where at the timing of this post, which was yesterday, it was at 11 different women. 11 that have said that he's used them, that he's manipulated them. And at this point in time, Harry hasn't really responded to any of this. He's actually been quieter on X than normal, which is, I think, is pretty interesting. Like, I think he's trying to lay low. Um, all these videos are really long. I'm not going to get into it, but you can see some of the pictures here of him snapping. Clearly, that's him. You know, oh, look, he's got a little blue heart next to his name. You know, him with some big glasses on. Here's a little message basically saying, oh, I never lied to you, blah, blah, getting all mad. And then he's saying, why are you screenshotting? Clearly getting defensive. These are from, I think, all different girls, just different Snapchats. And then these are just different snaps. And he does the same pose every time. Like, I don't know why. Like, same photo. Like, he's always looking to the right. Very weird. I will play this one because it's kind of short.
If he had flat told us, hey, I am talking to other people. When we asked, when all, like, a fucking dozen of us asked, hey, are you talking to anybody? Instead, he lied and said he did not have a roster and that he was not talking to anyone.
Harry, I thought you were supposed to be like a speaker for women. You're not supposed to lie to them. Here's more. I think this is a woman that went through abuse or sexual assault, and he basically kind of just manipulated her and used her to his advantage. These are screenshots, more screenshots of just him just being a piece of shit, say the least. And I think it all stemmed from this. I think he posted this like a week ago. Like both of these, I think he was trying to prove to the world that he's not gay. And I think it just backfired on him. I think he would have been better off if people thought he was gay. Because right now, it's not looking good for him. Just more and more and more and more. So that moves on to Sarah also saying that she thinks people on TikTok, like his followers, he's got like 1.5 million followers or something, are reporting her videos. I guess she has 6 different posts about Harry Sisson, and they're mass reporting him to the point where they're restricted. And I don't know how many people have TikTok, but basically if you have enough people report your video, they'll just take it down blindly without actually looking into it. And sometimes it could take a few days for that video to come back up, even if something's harmless. Like I've had videos on my TikTok taken down for like misinformation when they're quoting government websites. So like yeah, they take it down just like if too many people are doing it. So if his whole squad is mass reporting her, it makes sense, even though there's probably nothing in her videos that's a lie or that's wrong in any way. And of course, the older millennial had to get in on this too. This is pretty funny, actually.
We have some major breaking news.
Oh, yes, we do, Harry. However, the real massive breaking news is about how you treat women. And look, before y'all tell me this is fake news, you are welcome to go to Sarah is Censored over on X. She has all the receipts. She's got the Snapchats. She's got the text messages. She's got the video messages. She has everything. Everything. Showing how Harry Sisson treats women, how he lies to them, how he convinces them to send him explicit messages, that they're wifey material, and that he would never talk to multiple women at the same time. Oh, and then when they call him out for it, he proceeds to gaslight the fuck out of them and try to paint them as insane. Wildly enough, that's not the most surprising part. The most surprising part was watching Dean throw him under the bus within minutes. But yeah, go ahead and head on over and check out Sarah's report on it.
Now, I did not hear about Dean doing that, so that would be interesting if I'm able to find that. Because as far as I know Chris has been defending him till the end of time. I think Parker has too. But obviously Dean's passed with his controversy because he really likes to say the N-word. He probably wants no part of this. So he's probably like, nah, dude, that's all you. And it's really funny because if you look at like past tweets of his, so this is a perfect one. He actually has this pinned on his account. America failed women tonight. Trump bullied, assaulted, and stripped reproductive rights away from women all across the country instead of standing up against it, which to this point, mid-March now, never done that. He's still not even talking about doing that. We have failed our daughters, mothers, and sisters. Oh my goodness. So you really stood up for women's rights there, Harry. And it's funny because he really, like, he did this one retweet of Tim Walz 13 hours ago, this post 21 hours ago, but he's been really quiet. This is from 2 days ago, retweet. Like, normally he posts like at least 10 times a day. Like, he's usually pretty active on here. He's been pretty quiet lately. So, yeah, it's interesting. This is, what I love about stuff like this, like I said, I usually don't try to really care about this stuff, but Harry's such a horrible human being and such a cocky kid that I love that this stuff's happening to him because he needs to be brought down. He needs to be humbled. And this is, I believe probably back in like October or something.
To all of the men out there who are going around to women saying, your body, my choice, number one, you're weird. Number two, this is why women don't like you. This is why when you go to the bar, they don't come home with you. And that girl that you were talking to in the bar and she went to find her friends, she wasn't looking for her friends. She was looking for the door to get away from you. Just respect people. It's that easy.
You know that last part? Respect people. Just respect people, Harry. That's all you have to do. Just respect people. Now this, actually, let me pull this one first. So this is actually Chris somewhat addressing it for Harry because I guess Harry can't speak for himself. So I guess people in this live stream were asking about it, and I guess Chris wants to pretend to be a lawyer now. So let me speed this up a little bit because it's kind of long.
I'm gonna give very blunt cliff notes. There was an individual on Snapchat who lived in the state of Illinois while Harry lived in the state of New York. They started engaging in consensual exchange of explicit explicit things. I think the parameter for Harry was, my understanding of this is the parameter from Harry was originally set saying we are this is for fun. We are not exclusive. If that is not okay with you, that's totally cool with me. I think that one big thing I consistently talk about, and I debate with people on this all the time, is again, just being very intentional about what you want. I don't think that there's a problem with wanting to have fun, right? But being clear about wanting to have fun, not leading people on. So being clear, this is what this is. Through that, I think that this individual then, I guess, leaked the photos and said that Harry got a girlfriend. I don't know. She says that she was led on. I don't. That's kind of like the cliff notes. Harry and this individual I've never met in person, and
Never faced on them.
never faced him. So that's,
Or at least spoken on FaceTime, I should say.
yeah. I think that's like those are the cliff. Yeah, someone said high school stuff. Those are the cliff notes. I think that
Yes, high school stuff.
I think that I think that like again like I think this is being like blown in pretty intensely out of proportion. But the idea being that like Harry engaged in saying, you know, essentially she asked, are you seeing other people? Are you talking to other people? And Harry said no. Was he actively engaging and talking to other people on texting them or Snapchatting? Yes. Was that a mistake? Yes. You should not have done that. That was a mistake.
That was a mistake.
That was a mistake. And I think that like, and again, I think that like in this aspect, and I think like genuinely, like,
So basically, they're just trying to play it off like nothing, no big deal. And I don't know if any of you saw the comments as this was playing. They were just all negative. Nothing of this was like positive. They're all just taking him down. They're all just like, what is wrong with you? And like I said, normally people wouldn't care. But when you're someone like Harry, who wants to like talk shit, let's say like on Andrew Tate, but then do the same thing Andrew Tate does or would do, like you're a little bit of a hypocrite there, bud. You can't talk shit on people and then do the same thing they do behind closed doors, you know? And then this one, just to add on to kind of conclude this, I don't know how true this is. So YouTube, if you're seeing this, is not saying this is fact. This is from a Reddit thread, it looks like. And this is saying that Harry Sisson's friend Parker is being accused of forcing himself on this girl. So this girl posted in Parker Get a Job Reddit thread. And she said she wanted to tell her story. She said, I met Parker through Dean. Dean and I had met in a public speaking event. He introduced me to Parker at a Bernie rally. I instantly liked Parker when I saw him, and we became friends at first. We went on a few study dates, and he invited me over to watch a movie. I said yes, thinking it was going to be friendly. He started I can't see his hand on my thigh, and it made me extremely uncomfortable. I told him that I thought we should be friends, and he told me that if I don't have sex with him, he'll tell everyone that I wasn't biracial and that I'm actually just white. It made no sense, but I told him to F off, and that's when he proceeded to pin me down and assault me. After the incident, I immediately tried to get into contact with Dean, but he blocked me on all social media. I even contacted campus police about it, and they never contacted me about it. So, like I said, we don't know if this is true or not. This could be someone making it up, but this whole squad might be coming down. It's a tumbling down, you know, they might be ending. And this, honestly, if Dean did speak up immediately and kind of like condemned Harry about it, or said like, I'm not a part of this, this could be right here. Why? He might have remembered this or knew this happened, and he's like, I'm hoping this doesn't come up. Like, I'm just hoping, like, I'm putting all myself off to the side, being like, I'm done. Yeah, so I don't know what you guys think about this. This is definitely really interesting. Like I said, Harry hasn't really addressed it besides that one video I showed you already. He's probably gonna hope that this all just blows over. I don't think it will. I'm sure he's gonna have his like fanboys that like love him, or fangirls, whatever you want to call that, just follow him no matter what. But if I would, and if he's smart in his situation, just to probably stay off the internet for a little bit. I don't know if he will. I don't know if he's posted on TikTok lately, because that is his moneymaker right there. That's how he earns his living. So he can't stay off there too long. But it's definitely interesting. Let me know what you guys think in the comments about this. We'll move on to the next topic. 1 second. Which we have. Is it this one? Nope. Right here. So, big thing that's been very annoying if you're a Trump fan or you're a fan of this administration is that judges left and right have been constantly blocking President Trump's executive orders. It's like they left and right. So this is recent one from just yesterday. A judge blocks Donald Trump's executive order banning transgender people from the military service. So, there's only probably so much I can say about this because it's YouTube. But the argument is that one, I think you're providing all these extra things that cost money, testosterone therapy, hormone therapy, all this other kinds of stuff. Plus, when you're switching up hormones in your whole body, you're not going to be in a good mental state. Like, think of kids that go through puberty. Would you call them in a good mental state? No, you wouldn't. It goes on to say, blah, blah, blah. U.S. District Judge Anna Reyes in Washington, D.C. ruled that Trump's order to exclude transgender troops from military service likely violates their constitutional rights. She was the second judge of the day to rule against the administration, and both rulings came within hours of an extraordinary conflict as Trump called for impeaching a third judge. The Reyes, who was nominated by Joe Biden, delayed her order until Friday morning to give the administration time to appeal. I'm trying to see. The court knows that this opinion will lead to heated public debate and appeals in a healthy democracy, both positive outcomes. We should all agree, however, that every person who has answered the call to serve deserves our gratitude and respect. I thought I was saying. Yeah, so this is one of the things that's been blocked, unfortunately. I don't know if it's going to get returned. I know Trump tried doing this his first term, and there was a lot of legal challenges with it. I don't know if it ever went through. But that's only one of the things that's been blocked. So another thing is a federal judge blocks the Trump administration from ending $14 billion in climate grants. This was also yesterday. A federal judge on Tuesday blocked the Trump administration from terminating $14 billion in grants awarded to 3 climate groups by the Biden administration, saying the government's vague and unsubstantiated assertions of fraud are insufficient. The judge, the Environmental Protection Agency, from ending the grant program, which totaled $20 billion. So I guess they don't have enough proof, is what the court is trying to say. This honestly is, I will say, I'm not trying to say like conspiracies or anything, but like it's kind of weird all this is happening at the exact same time. And it's really a thorn in Trump's side when he's trying to get things done. He's trying to make the government more efficient. He's trying to get rid of wasteful spending. Not even necessarily fraud, but I mean, some of it's just wasteful. It doesn't need to be there. We have too many people that work in the government. We have too many different organizations. We have too much money being spent on these organizations that they probably can't even track the money. And Trump's trying to do that. And all these judges who just want to stop him are doing that. And it's funny because all the judges that keep doing this were appointed by previous presidents. It's interesting that it seems more of like a personal attack almost, like, oh, we need to be anti-Trump. Let's try to block Trump from doing anything possible, not necessarily thinking into why this could be a good thing, why is he doing this, but looking into the issues. But that's just my opinion. And so another one, do I have it up? The third one recently is that a judge blocked Trump from deporting Guatemalan gang members, or Venezuelan gang members. I'm sorry, Venezuelan gang members. Arguing that like it was he tried using the Aliens Enemies Invasion Act to deport Tren de Aragua. So U.S. District Judge James Boasberg has not only blocked President Trump's deportation of foreign gang members, he's ordered that the ones already on a plane out of the country be returned. This is an Obama-appointed activist judge. It's crazy. So now not only are they saying that it's wrong, but they're saying now they got to bring them back. These are gang members from Tren de Aragua. And this judge is saying that these people deserve to stay in our country. These are the people that are taking over all those Colorado apartments that the media said that wasn't happening. Or like, you remember that interview with J.D. Vance, I think before the election, where they were talking about it. And the woman interviewing him was like, oh, it's only 2 apartment buildings. And he was like, do you hear yourself? Only 2 apartment buildings? Like, it should be 0. Like the lengths these people do to try to like defend anything like that pushes like the Democratic Party or the anti-Trump is just insane. Like, why would you want to keep these people in this country if they shouldn't be here to begin with and they're criminals? And this is interesting too. So this person pointed out the wife of the judge who tried to block Trump from deporting gang members to El Salvador has donated thousands of dollars to political opponents of Trump and founded a DC area abortion clinic. Boasberg's wife, Elizabeth Manson, has also been involved in partisan political activity and even donated $11,000 to Democratic candidates. Manson gave a combined $3,000 to the Hillary Victory Fund and Hillary for America Fund when the Democratic candidate was facing off against Trump in 2016. Yeah, that seems like a conflict of interest to me, don't you think? I feel like because the thing is too, who knows it's him doing it, like, or her doing it. It could be him. Like, obviously they're gonna have similar political views. So if she's going to the point where, oh, I'm gonna donate money to go against Trump, then him being his wife, like that's a huge conflict of interest. He should have never been allowed to do this. He should never even it should never even brought to him. And yeah, so that's just wrong. I don't get why no one's seeing how this is a conflict of interest. It's crazy to me. So Trump obviously is going to say something about it. So this was him talking about this judge blocking him.
The Chief Justice said it was more than two centuries. We understood that essentially impeachment was for very rare circumstances and not an appropriate response to rulings you disagree with. What's your reaction to the courts stepping in to make a statement here? They didn't make a statement when Joe Biden decided to forgive all those student loans.
Well, he didn't mention my name in the statement. I just saw it quickly. He didn't mention my name,
Yeah.
But many people have called for his impeachment, the impeachment of this judge. I don't know who the judge is, but he's radical left. He was Obama appointed. And he actually said we shouldn't be able to take criminals, killers, murderers, horrible, the worst people, gang members, gang leaders, that we shouldn't be allowed to take them out of our country. Well, that's a presidential job. That's not for a local judge to be making that determination.
The Chief Justice.
Yep. So basically, he's saying that I don't know if I think he's called for a specific judge impeachment. I don't know if it was this one, but he's basically saying like local judges should have no say in this. This should be him as the president. And if the Supreme Court wants to challenge him, that's one thing. The Supreme Court's the law of the land. But for this local judge to just be like, nope, it's unconstitutional to send illegal migrants who commit crimes and are criminals out of the country. That's like for someone to even think that is just absolutely insane. And they clearly do not care about America at all. If you're going to go through those lengths to try to say that and bring these people back, like, you clearly do not care about this country. You're just trying to do anything you can to be anti-Trump because that's all you know how to do. Like, these people don't care about anything else besides being, their whole identity is being anti-Trump. Trump could go out there and cure world hunger and they would say it's better that people are starving. Like, that's how like TDS these people are filled with. And it's honestly disgusting. It's sad to see. Like people feel unsafe all the time from migrants everywhere. From them. And then not only that, but they don't like the resources they've been taking up under the Biden administration, the hotels they were staying in, all this money they're getting from all these different state governments. And it's crazy. And it's like sad to see. And it shouldn't be this way. But hopefully, Trump takes this stuff to the next step, and then all the way to the Supreme Court if he has to get this stuff done. Sucks that these people have to come back. But as of right now, nothing we can do about that. Hopefully it just keeps getting better. Let me know what you guys think about this. Just Trump getting blocked left and right. It's just not good for this country. Hopefully it doesn't slow him. I don't think it's going to slow him down too much. I don't think you can slow that man down. Yeah, hopefully it gets better. Let's go to the next topic. So you guys have probably heard by now, Jeremy Boring has stepped down as CEO of the Daily Wire. Yes, it's I guess a little surprising, But I think it makes sense if you think about how the Daily Wire is slowly becoming, I guess, I don't want to say irrelevant because they still are probably considered like the biggest conservative media company out there, but they're slowly losing the respect of their fellow conservatives. And it's just based on stuff with like Crowder back a couple years ago, Candace Owens, Brett Cooper. They're trying to do all this stuff with their media, but it's just, they'll hit like the Matt Walsh stuff's good. Besides that, none of their media stuff really is good. They have their own streaming service. I don't even know one person that has it. I think it's called Bentkey. Yeah, so it's just not a good direction. What's interesting is that, so Jeremy Boring announcing this, all he did was share this Axios article and just said a new chapter. So let's look into it. Exclusive. Daily Wire co-CEO Jeremy Boring to step down. Boring has been at Daily Wire since the inception in 2015. He helped grow the outlet from a tiny news startup with 4.7 million seed funding. A tiny startup with 4.7 million in funding. That's interesting. Now it's worth north of $1 billion. The other co-CEO, Caleb Robinson, will take over as full-time CEO. They've both been co-CEOs since 2019. Interesting. I don't know why you would have two CEOs. I don't know of any other company that does that. It's strange. Boring has said he will remain with the company in an advisory role. He will continue to host Daily Wire Backstage, which is their monthly show, so he has to work a whole month or one day a month. Wow. He will focus full-time on creative projects, including the completion of the Daily Wire's TV series, The Pendragon Cycle, in which he serves as director and executive producer. So it looks like he's going to put more into the actual media part of it. Like he's going to be doing the movies, the shows, whatever. They're putting him there instead of like the face of the company. And it's interesting because this seems more of like a demotion, like a downgrade. Like he's going to be serving under where he was before. Usually CEOs, if they're struggling or they're not doing good, they just leave the company or they get forced out. They actually are giving him like a demotion here. And maybe this is what he wants, maybe because I mean he did put himself in that Lady Ballers movie. He likes to, I don't know, it seems like he wants to feel more important than he actually is. He refers to himself as the God King, which I think is very strange, being supposedly he's Christian. It seems like he just wants to feel important, which I don't understand why he hasn't started like his own podcast at this point, since it's what like Ben and Matt Walsh, Michael Knowles all do. But it's really interesting. So if you look at this Brett Cooper post, so she shared the Axios article. It's exclusive. Jeremy Boring stepped down, and she showed this gif of Jimmy Fallon turning and slowly smiling. And then she commented under saying, genuinely excited to see where Ben and Caleb take the company next. So clearly she has no hard feelings about Ben Shapiro or Caleb Robinson, but clearly she is not a fan of Jeremy Boring. Now, maybe Daily Wire saw this because Brett Cooper is the most recent one to leave. Candace Owens was like a year ago, and then Steven Crowder was never there, but he was trying to sign on to him, and then it just didn't work out. Yeah, so this dude says it perfectly here. The company has rapidly declined since losing Candace Owens and Brett Cooper. Maybe the new leadership will stop censoring hosts if they disagree with Ben Shapiro. I actually used to be a subscriber, but you couldn't pay me to consume anything they produce unless it's by Matt Walsh. And he's not wrong. Matt Walsh is the only one that does pretty good stuff there, like the I Am I Racist movie. The one, what was the one before that? The other one he did was pretty good. What is a Woman? But yeah, obviously losing Candace Owens and Brett Cooper has been a huge loss. And it does seem like whenever you don't blindly follow Ben Shapiro's views, or to an extent, at least when it comes to Israel, you're gone. Matt Walsh has been he didn't really talk about it much, but he said like we shouldn't fund them. But I know Candace Owens obviously is very outspoken against Israel. And from what I've heard, Brett Cooper shares similar opinions, but she does more pop culture, so she doesn't really talk about it. But Candace Owens and Brett Cooper are still pretty good friends, throughout all this. And it's really interesting if you look at how well people like Candace and like Brett, not even how much more they're thriving being away from the Daily Wire. So you have Candace Owens, who had to start a new YouTube channel. I think she had a personal one already, but it was barely anything on it. So because the Daily Wire took her YouTube channel, they also took Brett Cooper's YouTube channel, put someone else in it. I'll get to that in a minute. But they took her YouTube channel. So she had this new one. She's already at 4 million subscribers. And look, she's getting like 1 million views, 2 million views, 2 million views, 1 million views. She's a big name. That is all money the Daily Wire could be getting right now, because they have those insane contracts where the Daily Wire controls everything you own. So Brett Cooper, she just started her channel. She's at 1.42 million subscribers, and she only has 2, 6, 10, 14 videos up. And then you see like, this was the day ago. So like 900,000, 600,000, 400, 400, 600, 500. So yeah, she's doing just fine without them. Her first few videos, 3.6, 3.4, 1.5. So she's doing pretty good. Now, if you look at her replacement, which is a lot of stuff about that too, the comments section, I don't even know what her replacement's name is. I always forget. So she's still posting. This is essentially Brett Cooper's channel. They've lost a lot of subscribers. I'll show that in a second. But 14,000 views, 17,000, 23,000, 20,000, 19, 16, 28. Like, they're so low compared to what they used to be. I don't know if I can go back far enough. I don't even know if... Yeah, so this is back when Brett was on here. Look, Brett's last video got 1.5 million views. 600,000, 500,000, 400, 400, 500, 1 million. This is what the channel used to be. And then they made everyone mad and put this girl in her place, which I think was like her best friend. And yeah, nothing. This is such low views. They're losing so much money here. And that was really dumb of the Daily Wire to do that. If you look at Social Blade, so this keeps track of subscribers, this channel is averaging a loss of over 1,000 subscribers a week. Or a day, I'm sorry. They're averaging over 1,000 subscriber loss a day, a weekly average of 10,000 subscribers lost. Still, this is like months after Brett Cooper left, and they're still losing subscribers. Last 30 days, they've lost 40,000. This is crazy. Let me see if I go back farther. Oh, I can't go back farther unless I pay for it. But they, I'm pretty sure this channel used to be up to like 4.5, almost 5 million subscribers. Now it's like nothing. Well, not nothing. 3.89 million is not nothing. But it doesn't matter because they're not getting views. Nobody's viewing their stuff. It's so low. And yeah, I don't see how the Daily would, like, obviously Jeremy Boring not being the CEO, clearly people had issues with him. Brett Cooper made that obvious with that GIF. So I think that's what they're trying to do, to kind of basically say he's not the face of the company. So don't think of Jeremy Boring when you think of Daily Wire. But I don't know if you can repair this reputation at this point. Like, I'm sure there's still those diehard people that still watch, like, Matt Walsh, Ben Shapiro still has a huge following. But when you're talking about pulling new people in to, like when they brought Candace Owens in, when they brought Brett Cooper in, it's going to be hard for them to bring in new people, I think. Like, because not only do they know about all the contracts and being locked in and basically Daily Wire owning everything that's yours, they know the reputation the Daily Wire has and like how it's lost it. So they're not going to be part of it. Like Brett Cooper, I think they took her TikTok too. They took her YouTube channel. They took like everything. Like you can't do that. And like Steven Crowder, thanks to him bringing the contract issue to everyone's attention back 2 or 3 years ago, is the reason why, the people even know about this. He showed how controlling they can be, how if you get demonetized on a certain platform, they're going to take it out of your pay from that pay loss, even though they want to support free speech and fight big tech, but they're going to penalize you for that. That's dumb. So they have a lot of control over you. And it's better to be independent. I think Candace and Brett both learned it's better just to be on your own. And I think more and more people are going to do that going forward. I think the Daily Wire will still be around to an extent. I don't think it's going to be nearly as big as it was, and there's no fixing that. I think they're going to keep losing money. I think they're going to have to cut some costs elsewhere. And what they're going to have to do, the only thing that can really save them at this point, because Ben Spears, I think, part owner of the company, so he's not going anywhere. The only thing that could really save them at this point is if they gave Matt Walsh like a fat raise. Because at this point, there's nothing keeping Matt Walsh there. He's probably like a little more loyal. But if you make him mad, he's got a huge following too. He can just go elsewhere. He can be on his own too. And that's like their moneymaker there. Because Michael Knowles and Andrew Clavin don't pull what Matt Walsh pulls. So if I was them, I would make Matt Walsh happy if I cared about the future of my company. Because that's the only one they have left. But who knows what they'll do going forward. Maybe I'm completely wrong. Maybe they'll be around for the long haul. Maybe they'll get a rebound and sign someone that's a big name that they can bring in money for them. I don't know. I don't see it happening. I guess we'll see going forward, Let's see what the next topic is. I got like 6 total. So nope, not that one. So this one has been a pretty big issue the past few days. And that is, well, probably more the past few weeks, which is the vandalism of Teslas and Tesla dealerships all throughout the country. Just random people getting their Teslas keyed, a dealership caught on fire, all just to protest Elon Musk. And obviously their stock, as it's been tanking pretty bad. I think it'll bounce back at some point. It's, Tesla's not going anywhere. It's just more of like a protest thing, I think, people selling off. But this is like, it's insane what people are doing. So this is in Vegas just yesterday. All these Teslas just caught on fire at a dealership. Look at that. Like, that's insane that people are going to these lengths to protest Elon Musk. Like, it's just crazy. Obviously, it's not stopping him, or else he would have been like, if this bothered him, or if he truly cared about like the money or the wealth more than anything, he would have been like, okay, I'm done. Bye. I'm done with this government stuff. Let me save my company. He's still doing what he's doing, and apparently the board members don't care either because they haven't voted him out as CEO yet or anything. So, I mean, they can only do this for so long, but this is crazy. Like, you're literally burning down trying to burn down the whole dealership. This says the FBI has confirmed to the Review Journal that the agency, quote, has personnel on scene to offer assistance to the Las Vegas police department after police say an individual set several Tesla vehicles on fire early Tuesday morning in Las Vegas. That is absolutely insane. So then you have more and more of this going on. So this, like I said a minute ago, Teslas have been getting keyed too, all over the place. So you have this individual slowly walking up, trying to be all casual. Look how far they had to go out of their way. I'm assuming this is a Cybertruck. It looks like a Cybertruck. I guess Teslas have cameras on the side here. Look how far they went out of their way to come over here. Look at this. Of course, mask going outside 2025, of course. Look, keying it. That's mental. Don't know if that's a boy or a girl. Look at that. Like I said, it's 2025, the sun's out, and you got a mask on. Strange. Look, still going at it. That's crazy. And then just walked away. That's insane. Look at that. You can kind of make out what it is. I don't want to say it because I don't want YouTube taking this down or anything. But there's just more and more that look spray painting. Look at this. Not a care in the world. Looks like this is a Tesla too. I don't know if it gets that one. Nope. Look, of course, mask on. It's always someone with a mask in 2025. Like, these people are mental. Like, how do you get to this point where you think like this is okay, or you think you're not going to get caught, you're not going to get in trouble? This is Oklahoma at a Residence Inn. This is going up to 100,000 views now. They're trying to figure out who it is, but it's going to be hard with that. Like I said, mask on, hood up. Look, they're looking right at the camera. Like, they have to know that camera's there, and they just don't care. Like that. Like, what is wrong with you to where you're just like thinking that's okay? And it's just more. And look, there's another one right here. Look, casually just walking by, key in the side. Camera right here. This is actually really smart of the Tesla design to put a camera there. I would have never thought, like before all this, that there was even a reason to have a camera in that part of your car. Like, unless you're arguing like I can see the blind spot. But now I hope cars going forward build cameras there, because that's crazy. So this is at the Dallas airport, and his face is clear right there. Didn't even try to hide it. Like, how miserable do you have to be to do something like that? Like, you have to be such a miserable person. So Elon talked about this on Fox News. So let's listen to him right here.
Why do I see people like I woke up this morning and saw that Teslas were put ablaze in one of your dealerships in Vegas? I've seen this happen all over the country. Bullets are being fired. Charging stations are put ablaze. Teslas are being put ablaze. You have experienced assassination, threats of assassination for you and your family. What have you done that warrants this? Because I see nothing that you have done except help our country.
Yeah, I mean, it's really come as quite a shock to me that there's this level of really hatred and violence from the left. I always thought the left, or the Democrats, were supposed to be the party of empathy, the party of caring, and yet they're burning down cars, they're firebombing dealerships, they're firing bullets into dealerships, they're just, smashing up Teslas. Tesla is a peaceful company. We've never done anything harmful. I've never done anything harmful. I've only done productive things. So I think we just have a deranged, there's some kind of mental illness thing going on here, because this doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
and I think there are larger forces at work as well. I mean, I don't know who's funding it and who's coordinating it, because this is crazy. I've never seen anything like this.
You actually tweeted out, and I'll put it on the screen, the level of violence is insane. It is deeply wrong. Tesla just makes electric cars and has done nothing to deserve these evil attacks.
Isn't it crazy too, if you think about it? Like, so this is obviously leftist people who are trying to oppose Elon Musk and hate Elon Musk for, I don't know, his tweets or whatever, and they're burning down electric cars that they supposedly love. So you have all these batteries burning, which probably isn't good for the environment. You have this fires, the smoke going up, but these are supposed to be environmentalists that care. Burning electric cars. Like, you can't make that up. And what I thought was interesting too, so Elon's in a space outfit here, because the other day, I think it was yesterday actually, last night, SpaceX, one of his other companies, brought the stranded astronauts home. The astronauts that have been up in space for 9 months, because the Biden administration left them up there because they had an issue with their space station, and the Biden administration couldn't do anything about it, or they refused to do anything about it. Elon has actually said himself that they pushed it off till after the election because of political reasons. So for me, that makes me think that they would have thought of it as a win for Elon. Say they did that in October, SpaceX goes up there and saves them, right? In October, month for election, when Elon's already for Trump and his company is doing this, it would have made Biden look bad. It would have made Kamala look bad. They wouldn't have wanted that. So they put it off longer. And it's disgusting. Those people were supposed to be out there for 8 days. They were up there for 9 months. And thanks to Elon's SpaceX company, they were able to come back to their homes and see their families and spend time with their kids that they hadn't seen in 9 months. Not to mention, on top of that, the effects of basically living weightless for 9 months has on your body. Because I was reading up on this earlier, you lose muscle mass, you lose bone density because they're not feeling Earth's gravity. So they're going to have to go through therapy for a little bit to get back to just even walking normal, on top of just everything else. So Trump had something to say about this too. Yeah, play this.
Lunatics are setting fire to Teslas all across the country. Another horrible incident happened in Las Vegas last night. The FBI is on the scene investigating, and there's an ongoing investigation being led by Pam Bondi. In what you've seen so far, do you consider what's happening an act of domestic political terrorism against one of your allies?
So Elon is a patriot. And again, I hardly knew Elon until the, election. And he turned out that he liked me better than he liked these radical lunatics that were in it, better than Kamala, better than Joe, because he's an intelligent person. And he backed me, and he went. And he got very much involved. He thought he actually would go around saying, if Trump doesn't win, our country is over.
But do you consider this an act of domestic terrorism?
I think so.
Why?
I think that if and when they catch the people, and I hope they do, the good thing is they have a lot of cameras in those places, and they've caught some already having to do with that. I think that you will find out that they're paid by people that are very highly political on the left.
So Trump and Elon both have this theory that these I'm going to call them protesters, are being paid by leftist organizations, which is not the first time people have said stuff like this. During the BLM riots, people were saying the same thing. People just going around destroying cities, burning down everything. People said that's paid organizations from the left too. It'd be interesting if they're able to actually kind of prove this, prove that this is where the money's coming from. I've seen posts before, on online, people share screenshots of Craigslist of people saying, hey, come out and protest this with us, we'll give you $40. So paid protesters are a thing. To the extent they're being paid, you can argue, but paid protesters are a thing. And if you offer a desperate person a couple $100, like, hey, go burn down this Tesla dealership, and they have nothing to lose, they might do it. So it's definitely an interesting argument. This is just so insane to see. And what I pulled up first was this is 2 different articles that I think is interesting to look at. So it says, as Teslas burn in Las Vegas, I'm reminded that just 2 years ago, Biden declared white supremacy the most dangerous terrorist threat to the country. So this is today. Insanely and deeply wrong, Musk says Tesla vehicles set on fire. This was 2 years ago. Biden calls white supremacy most dangerous terrorist threat in speech at Howard. Yeah, I don't think that's the case. I never thought that was the case. I think this is BS. But it's interesting because, there's liberals online that are arguing this is not terrorism, domestic terrorism that Trump is trying to say it is. But if you have a group of people all attacking the same thing in just different states, the same kind of vehicle, the same kind of dealerships, the same company, that is terrorism. You're terrorizing them. That's the definition of terrorism. So he is right there. So liberals can complain all they want. I think what's happening is wrong. And I would say the same car dealership. And especially because when you're keying people's cars, there's a really good chance that people might have just bought the Cybertruck because it looked cool. Not necessarily because they love Elon. People do support electric cars, and Tesla is the most reliable electric car company on the planet. So I think it's just dumb that they would do this, and I don't think people are exactly thinking straight when it comes to this stuff. But that's the left. They don't think straight often, do they? So let me know what you guys think about all this Tesla stuff. I think it's just absolutely crazy. I don't know when it's going to stop either. It doesn't seem like it's stopping anytime soon. But I guess we'll see. I got two more things I want to talk about and get to. One is our, I don't want to say almost vice president because that's giving him a compliment, but Tim Walz. You remember Tim Walz? He ran for vice president with Kamala Harris. Yes. So I am so glad this man is not the vice president because he clearly does not care about America. So what do I mean by that? So as vice president, it's one thing. So this is kind of continuing on to the whole Tesla thing. It's one thing for a liberal commentator like Harry Sisson or the Krasenstein brothers or anything like that to be cheering on Tesla, their market dropping, the company failing, kind of like when people on the right were cheering on Bud Light failing, right? So it's one thing to do that. It's another thing when a politician is excited that an American company that is the most American-made car is failing. That's next level. This dude is supposed to be the one that wanted to be VP because he really is right there with the American workers. He believes in them. He believes in America, but then he's cheering on one of the most American-made companies that they're failing. So this is this video. It's going around a lot right now.
Saying on my phone, I know some of you know this on the iPhone, they've got that little stock app. I added Tesla to it to give me a little boost during the day. 225 and dropping. So, and if you own one, we're not blaming you. You can take dental floss and pull the Tesla thing off, and take out, just telling you.
So I don't know if this is supposed to be like a stand-up show or what he's doing. I think he's trying to come off like a comedian. So he's cheering on Tesla's stock dropping, which it has plummeted a lot. If you look at, let's see, Tesla. So it's actually up today to 234, which is interesting. If you go back the last, 3 months, it was up to 462 at one point. If you look at 6 months, it was up to 479 in December. Now it's down to 234. So it's lost, about half of its value. So it's a pretty significant drop. And, and you can really see it right here ever since the election roughly. It's just been elections right here, or Trump taking over, I'm sorry, and then just plummeted. Because it's just people protesting, probably liberals that used to own Tesla stock, they're selling off. People are saying this company's bad. The image of the company is looking probably, you could argue, worse because of Elon. So then people are selling off. So yeah, I think it'll bounce back ultimately because it's dropped down here before too. People, when Elon was smoking weed on Joe Rogan's podcast, they acted like Tesla was going to plummet and it went higher than ever after that. So I don't think this is going to go anywhere, but it's just crazy to see a governor of a state and almost a vice president of our country cheering on this. So if you look at here, 2024cars.com, American Made Index, which cars are the most American? So this has been a big talking point for Trump. He wants American-made cars. He wants cars made in America. That's why he's putting all these tariffs and stuff. He wants people to bring their manufacturing. I think Honda and Toyota have already moved a lot of theirs from Canada and Mexico to America, or they're going to in the next few years. Well, this says, so our study ranks 100 vehicles judged through the same 5 criteria as it's been since the 2020 edition: assembly location, parts content, engine origin, transmission origin, and U.S. manufacturing workforce. More than 400 vehicles of model year 2024 vintage were analyzed to qualify the 100 vehicles on the list. So this is over 400 vehicles on this list to see what's most American. You know what number 1 is? The Tesla Y for the 3rd consecutive year. The Model Y is the most American-made car. And then 4th, the Model S by Tesla. 9th, the Model X by Tesla. 21st, Model 3. So 3 of the top 9, 4 of the top 21 are Teslas for most American-made cars. This is the company that Tim Walz is cheering on that's failing. Most American-made car. Easily. And it's crazy. So Tim Walz, it doesn't stop there because Tim Walz, I'm guessing he's wanting to run for president in 2028. So I think he's doing all this speaking. I think he's trying to take advantage of the Democrat Party being lost and is trying to say, hey, I'll be your leader. Come follow me. Because like Bernie's already taken that role a little bit, but obviously by the time the election comes around, Bernie's going to be like 804. So he shouldn't really be running for president. But so I think Tim Walz is trying to jump in there and trying to take that leadership. So he's talked to Gavin the other day.
But I think this notion of toxicity and masculinity needs to be separated. And I think it's been conflated. And I think we're going to have to work on that a little bit. And I think there is a crisis.
I think some of us scare them. I think I scare them a little bit. That's why they spend so much time on this. No, I'm serious because I can fix a truck. They know I'm not bullshitting on this. Yeah. I'm not putting this in people's grill. I don't know if my identity is not hunting. My identity is not football coaching. My identity is not, a beard and a truck.
Yeah. So he says he thinks he scares people a little bit, scares Trump supporters. This man right here. The man that looked completely lost against J.D. Vance, just having a conversation or a debate on stage. Also, I don't know if any of you have been watching Gavin. Look at this hand.
But I think this notion of talk.
I watched him do the Charlie Kirk debate, and he did this probably 500 times, and it was driving me absolutely insane. I don't know why he does that. But it's interesting where Tim Walz thinks he's scary. Yeah, because he can fix a truck. Yeah, that's not scary at all. Like most men can like work on cars. They should be able to work on cars anyway. If they can't work on cars, then they're you gotta at least be able to do the bare minimum. I'm not saying I'm a mechanic, but I can do like oil change. I can change the tire. I can brake pads. I can do all that stuff. And if I don't know how to do it, I'll just YouTube it. Like you should be able to do stuff like that. So I don't know what he's trying to say here. Like, he's like, why they spend so much time on me? I'm serious because I can fix a truck. We want you to be able to talk to the country, be able to speak without stuttering like you did with J.D. Vance, and be able to connect with everyday people about what they want. And you and Kamala absolutely failed like crazy in this election doing that. And I don't think you're going to be able to recover from that. You can try doing that. Obviously, you're working on that hard right here. You're trying to get people to think you're this like likable person, like you did. You like in the campaign trail, you played Madden with AOC, even though you clearly had no idea what you were doing. You're trying to do all this stuff to seem relatable, but it's not working, because you're trying too hard. And when you're bashing one of the biggest American companies there are, it's not gonna go well for you. And like I said before, his other company just saved astronauts from being in space for 9 months. Are you gonna bash that too? Are you gonna say that SpaceX should fail too? Because if they did, we honestly have no idea how much longer those astronauts would have been up there. No telling. So, I mean, if you want to keep cheering on a company failing, American company, that's on you. It's not going to get you anywhere. It's not going to get you votes in the election. It's not going to get you, it'll get you your far left fan base liking you. But that's all it'll get you. You're not going to win the election. You might not even win the primary, honestly. Because, as of right now, we have no idea who's running the Democrat primary. Probably Kamala again. Probably Tim Walz. I think AOC will be old enough by then, so she might be in there. Gavin Newsom, Josh Shapiro, might be all of them. So, we really don't know who's going to be in there. And I don't know if you guys can hear, that's my dogs barking in the background because, they just like to bark at everything they see. But, Tim Walz, I don't think he's getting anywhere with this. I think he just almost comes off as jealous of Elon, kind of. Like, I think he's trying to be funny here, but I think he comes off kind of jealous to me. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. I don't think it's going to be good for him. I think it's just going to make his image look worse. And I don't think he's going to get that presidential candidacy in 2028. And if he does, we all know what happened last time Tim Walz debated JD Vance. It didn't go well for Tim Walz. Yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below about Tim Walz, if you think he'll be a presidential candidate one day, and what you think about him. And then we got one more topic, which is kind of a little different. This is video game related. So I just want to come out and say it like this. What happened to Assassin's Creed? I mean that like legitly. Like, Assassin's Creed used to be one of the biggest games every single year. People always got the newest ones. They came out with one every single year. I think they took a year off to make this one. And it's got a lot of backlash. Usually, I don't know how many guys played Assassin's Creed before. They usually stick in like a time period. Everything around them is historically accurate when it comes to like the weapons they use, language they speak, or where they live, architecture. It's all usually historically accurate, including the people in the game are historically, at least represent the country of origin, I should say, because they've been in like Italy is where it started. They did one in America. They've done one in ancient Greek, I believe, Egypt. They've been everywhere. So now they're in feudal Japan for this new one. And of course, in your first Assassin's Creed game, where you're in Japan from 500 years ago, why wouldn't you make the face of the game a black man? It makes perfect sense, right? You already have like a story involving like a different race of people, and you're still gonna put a black person in there. Like, it's very strange. It's made a lot of people mad, and people like to argue he's historically was there. He was sent over there 1581, 1582. So apparently he spent 1 year there supposedly before he went back to Rome, where he served someone, I think. So this 1 year he was there apparently is enough for him to get a whole game named after, or a game with him as the star, according to Ubisoft. Very interesting. So that's not the only crazy part about this. Obviously, this has been a lot of backlash, being that, you could have had a cool Japanese guy or historical Japanese guy representing Japan, the country of origin, but you're going to choose someone else. I believe in this game, you get to choose between a guy and a girl. Like, you could choose whichever one you want to play with. The girl is Japanese, but they can't just leave it at that. Let me just play this video so you can see what I'm talking about. So someone made this video, and it's comparison of the old Assassin's Creed. So it's like from the OG first or second one, and then this is the new one. There's no sound. Yeah, so this is what Assassin's Creed is now. So apparently, on top of putting the unrealistic random black guy in feudal Japan in the game, they also made the main girl gay, which Japanese people in like modern times are very traditional. So I can only imagine how traditional they were 500 years ago. Like this, there's no way this existed 500 years ago, but they have to shove something LGBT in every single game all the time because that's the world we live in. This is completely just stupid, unnecessary. And I don't know why. Like, you see the top video is all cool Assassin's Creed, it's more like of the lore of the temple, everything like that. And it gets better. So this is, like I said, the Black Samurai, Yasuke. I don't know how to pronounce his name. I'm sure someone will call me racist for saying it wrong. Apparently this woman here, supposedly a woman, is a non-binary person that he has some kind of relationship with.
I do not think I have ever seen you quite so tongue-tied.
Not yet, at least. I hope you aren't easily chilled. Do you think someone might see us?
Maybe.
Do you care?
Not at all.
So they have the gay relationship, which there's no way existed 500 years ago in feudal Japan. Now they also have a non-binary person, which as far as I know, it wasn't even a thing until like 3 years ago, but apparently it was 500 years ago it existed. And the main guy, question, is in a relationship with this person. Yeah, so this is what video games have become. Yeah, it's really insane that this is what they're throwing into what Assassin's Creed was a really respected game back in the day. Like everyone always got like the newest one, everyone always loved it. They couldn't really mess it up much, but now, and like I said, they spent like an extra year making this. They took a year off. They usually come out with one every single year. Now, what's interesting is looking at the reviews. They're kind of all over the place. So you have, if you want to go off of typical, like IGN is rated, it got an 8 out of 10. That's usually the go-to to follow. GameSpot, 8 out of 10. But then you go down here, games rate, oh no, so they're, no, when I first read this, I thought it said 4 out of 10. So 4 out of 5. So some people do it on a scale of 5 for some reason. So the lowest is really like a 7 out of 10. So this has gotten some pretty good reviews, I would say. So this is right here. I think this is from previously. It says Ubisoft website confirms Assassin's Creed Shadows will have romantic relationships with different types of people. Finally, the first bisexual, non-binary black samurai. What the hell does different types of people mean? Like, could you have made that more vague? Different types of people. Because when we're playing Assassin's Creed and we're sneaking around on buildings and we're trying to, end people, to put it nicely, and play the game and be all cool in our outfit and everything, we care about whether our character has relationships with, quote, different types of people. Yeah, I can't imagine this game's going to do well. I'm sure it'll still get some sales. And it's sad because, the actual graphics look good. I feel like, most games in 2025, they should. But they clearly put a lot of time into this. And it's sad when they feel the need. I don't know if it's just because video game culture maybe is a lot more left than I realize. Because I don't play video games. I play video games sometimes, but I don't follow it as much. But they have to shove this stuff in there and everything. Like I said, if you're making some whole new game and you're going to put that as one thing, but this is a game that's supposed to be following historical events, and it's nothing historical about this. This is just, I don't know, it's insane to me. Let me know what you guys think in the comments about this. This is crazy. I can't imagine this game selling very well at all. I think this is going to tank. I think it's going to be one of those games where you're on the PlayStation Plus and it's like the free game of the month, like 3 months from now, because they're just trying to get people to play it because they just messed it up this much. But I could be wrong, but we'll see what happens. So let me know what you guys think down below. That pretty much concludes this stream. That's everything I wanted to get to today. Let me know if you guys like the format, if you like the topics I was talking about, everything to do with it. Just leave a comment down below, like the video, subscribe,